I'm not real sure what the topic is, which is hilarious to me, but I can describe it. I got, I had a meeting today and I received this gift of a reflection. And I want to share, um, sorry, I can't do two things at once. Okay, there we go. I want to share what was reflected back to me. I have to prove myself, but I can't because I don't know enough. I have to prove myself, but I can't because I don't know enough. And when she said it, it was like a scene in a movie and I sat there for a second and my body knew what it meant way faster than my brain did. And and what I'm processing, it's not a fully formed thought, but I'm just going to trust it. What I'm processing is a relationship with implicit memory and explicit memory. And I don't use that language a lot in here, but uh, what I have referred to in here is pre-verbal trauma, meaning trauma that happens before I developmentally have the ability to speak, pre-verbal. And the reason that that's important is because in our healing journey, sometimes our body has these reactions or this memory that our brain does not. And sometimes that's because it literally happened pre-verbal, or it is an implicit memory, meaning my brain is still developing. It could be in utero, it could be infancy, but there is this implicit knowledge in my body based on a trigger or a stimuli. And it might make it easier to wrap your brains around if I talk about the opposite. The opposite is explicit memory. It's a memory that we have that our body reacts and we know exactly why it's reacting. If one time we had a car accident and now each time we get in the car, my body is reactive, that's explicit memory. There is a connection between my mind and my body because cognitively I could understand what happened that created that fear. So when I heard this statement today, I have to prove myself, but I can't because I don't know enough. It speaks a lot to my ACA language of children explain, adults inform. It's a principle that I have to work very actively in my program, in my relationships, because sometimes I want to lead with it because I think I need to prove something. And when I feel like I need to prove something, it's because it feels like my word is not enough. So I need to back it up and I need to prove it. And when I can right size and I stay in my adult self, sometimes, oftentimes, I can witness that. I can witness myself feeling the need to prove it. And sometimes I can intersect that and I can right size and recognize. And sometimes I can't. Sometimes it's already happened and I'm looking back and I'm going, what the fuck? Why, why did I connect the dots for them? So the relationship to that with implicit and explicit memory is, for me, this idea that I inherently am just supposed to know. I'm supposed to know. I've never done it before, but by my actions and by my words, there is this awareness that I'm just supposed to know. And I don't know because it's never happened before. So my body is having this implicit reaction to this experience that it's like, how the fuck am I, like, when I can witness myself, when I can be embodied and I can recognize, why am I expecting myself to know how to do this? Which does not happen all the time. Like it's pretty new for me. When I can witness it in the moment and I can try to right size on a good day with a lot of capacity, it looks like curiosity. Like it looks like, I'm curious what's happening for me right now. Like I have to say it out loud. I'm curious what's happening for me right now because I'm feeling the need to prove it, but yet I've never done this before. So I'm not sure where that's coming from. And it is this, what feels like, just for me personally, some generational trauma. It feels way older than me, of a dynamic, an expectation, a relationship to knowing before experiencing. And I don't know about you guys, but that feels like a fucking setup to me. It's like, where did this come from? How is this happening? What happened today, just a recent example to concretize for you guys, as you're applying to your own story. Well, all of you are well aware, I have, what's the word I want to use? I don't know. This says something to me. I have followed all the breadcrumbs and watched the Healing Collective bloom beyond whatever I thought it could be. If I'm very honest, it is way more than I feel like I could have ever imagined. And I have recently started Healers in Practice, which is a nonprofit to support therapists, healers, helpers in doing their own work, to build more capacity, because, well, while we all know the world's really fucked right now. And so I'm really determined to be a part of a solution. And in this solution, I'm talking to this safe person and saying, I don't know what I'm doing, but yet I'm expecting myself to know what I'm doing. A group practice is nothing like a nonprofit. They're not the same thing. It is not a cookie cutter. And in my body, what was being reflected back to me, she said, it's almost like you feel like you have to prove yourself, but you can't because you don't know enough. And it was this, yeah, whose fucking rule is that? Whose rule am I following that my body implicitly says I'm supposed to know how to do this? But my brain's going, I don't fucking know how to do this. And it's okay. I don't need to know everything. It wasn't a control of, I need to know all the steps kind of situation, because I know that I can figure it out and I know I can follow the breadcrumbs again, because I do that really well. And at the same time, it was this fear in my body that I might not do it well because I didn't know the answer. And I find that really interesting that I feel the need to prove it, but yet I don't even know all the information. So how can I possibly prove it? I can't. So where is the comfort? Like all the parts of me that showed up in that, I could feel the shame and the guilt. I could feel the anxiety. I could feel the fear. And what I was noticing is they were all doing their parts. They were all trying to protect me, trying to prevent something from happening that's going to hurt me more, which in turn, what my program tells me is the part of me that's hurting needs connection. That's the me and me. That's what we work so hard on. And the shame and the guilt and the fear and the anxiety were preventing me from connecting with me. Because what I actually know is historically, I don't fail. It feels very uncomfortable for me to say that out loud, by the way. It feels very cocky. And when I go into a factual, logical part of my brain, I don't fail. I believe in what I teach so much. I am the student that needs to hear it the most. Humans are built to survive. That's what we do. We survive. We make it. And I am just another one of those that history shows I don't fail. So my takeaway from this and my hope in the message is it's trust. It is looking at every time not every time. Often when I get scared and those parts show up, the shame and the guilt, like they're shaming me before I've even done anything. It is protective. It has a purpose. And what she's trying to do is shut me down to prevent further pain. But what she doesn't realize is I can do it. I can do it. And I have, when I'm right sized, I have the ability to say that today because I don't do anything alone anymore. My program has taught me that I do it myself. Well, that's when shit happens. Scary shit happens. But I don't have to do that anymore. I have a whole team. I have a whole support network. I have safe people. I have besties. I have all of these resources that I've put in place that I get to say to that shame and guilt, I see what you're doing and thank you so much. And we don't have to do that anymore. We can receive. We can accept it. Yeah. I want to offer an oldie but goodie. Several of you really like this one. And when we think about healing and when we notice, when we're able to witness what's happening in our body, reparenting is it is the dynamic, it is the tool that we're using. And the phrase in my reparenting that I really like to lean on is whose fucking rule is that? When I am carrying on rules that were put on me that I don't align with as an adult woman at 45 years old, why am I still using it? Now, I need to own that I have to be in an embodied state in order to recognize that, right? Like I have to be able to be embodied and to witness. There's a discrepancy in what I believe and what I'm doing. Whose rule is that? Why am I still doing it? That is my favorite one. I think some of you guys already know that. And it's very empowering to me because it helps me remember I'm the adult here. The other one that I want to mention is when the statement that we talked about tonight, I have to prove myself, but I can't because I don't know enough. Even hearing that statement, and when I speak it, I feel it in my solar plexus. Like I feel my body trying to shrink. When I feel little, it's because it's old. When it is hysterical, it's historical. When it causes a big body reaction for me, it's old. I don't need to know the origination of that wound or injury. In fact, what makes inner child work really beautiful is I start with the most recent. Wherever my body is taking me is exactly where I'm supposed to be. And when I can recognize, ooh, like I feel my solar plexus like almost knot up, I know that that's when my inner child is speaking to me. She's talking to me. And what I want to offer is, in parts work, what many of you have experienced is, how do we reparent that part of ourself that didn't get what they needed? What would that look like? Almost like customize it for you. What is it that they needed? Because it's not cookie cutter. It's not the same for everyone. While thematically, does it show up as wanting to be seen and heard? Yes, of course. But my way of being seen and heard is not feeling like I'm annoying someone when I have a question. That's how I feel seen and heard. Is there's a container and there's permission and there's approachability. So what comes up for me is, the other night I'm laying in bed with Coop. He's my 10-year-old. And he says, Mom, my oldest, how come my feet are the only thing that gets a growth spurt and not my body? Well, it's better than some of the other questions I've been getting lately. Let me just say that. So I was like, okay, I'll take this one. I can do this one. And I was like, well, honey, I don't know. And before I could even answer, he had 5 other questions, like darting. Like his little mind was just racing. And all I could think of was, don't make him think you're annoyed. Don't make him think you're annoyed. Like, welcome it. Like, wow, honey, that's a great question. Yeah, it's also 9 o'clock at night and my brain and whole body is shutting down. But it was so important to me that sometimes for me, that is my frame of reference. I want to treat her, my little girl, the way that I hope most of the time I treat my boys, because I work so hard to be really embodied. And some days I suck at it. Some days I do not do a good job and I lose my shit. And what makes my process and my kids' process different is that I'm doing something about it. I won't be perfect. I have undoubtedly fucked up so many times. It just is. My goal can't be to not fuck up. My goal is that if I do hurt, that I repair. Because that's what I never got for me. So making sure too that, like, what I am putting on myself and what I am adopting for myself is realistic. And it's one of the things that she reflected back to me today. And you can't prove yourself because you don't even have enough information yet. Like, that's what she was saying to me. And she's right. I don't. So it's the opportunity to make sure that what I'm working towards and what I'm in alignment is realistic for me. And it gives me enough space to screw up, because we don't learn by doing right. We learn by fucking up. But I have a lot of power as a mom, and I can repair it. I can be there. I can be present. I don't have to be annoyed at 9 o'clock at night when he's asking me 15 questions about why is his feet so big and why is he so short. I don't know, but he was so cute and I was trying so hard not to laugh.